Hey guys, it's Saru, and with the release of Broken Prison, I didn't really have any time to work on a video since the first week of it was pretty completely broken. Yes, it was broken, but I have all the details for you now on how to do these fancy mechanics, and let's get started. Yes, indeed. Start Gorgoth. In reality, he only has 2 special mechanics that you need to know, as well that if you fuck up, well, it shrinks the arena and the lava outside can kill you. Simple enough. Oh, Jesus. Yes, indeed. Now, it's technically 3 mechanics if you count the puddles as one, so we'll just count it and hope for the best here. Alright, so let's start off with the simple stuff. So the puddles will spawn at some point during the fight, and if you've done dungeons like Lilith's Keep with its second boss, or Sky Cruiser with its last boss, you'll know how to do these AoEs perfectly. On the arena itself, just go to an edge, although it's a circle, so I guess it doesn't really have an edge, but you know what I mean, just go away basically, and keep the circle away from the middle. As the circle finishes, it'll drop a puddle, which hurts a little bit if you do touch it, and it does go away after a little bit, so just keep it away from the middle, as that's where you're really working with. And that's really the only thing for that. The very first mechanic is from 95% to 40%. He will do this lightning and fire aura mechanic every minute or so. Now with this mechanic, it's kind of like a Venn diagram, as some people would put it, as I heard many times last night, or a math equation. So the tank and the person with the highest damage usually will receive an aura, either fire or lightning. The tank will always get it, but I'm not really sure about the damage, so just keep an eye on that. It always starts out with fire text first, and then lightning. So the people themselves with an aura count as one person. So for example, if the boss asks for 2 fire and 2 lightning, both people with auras can just stand together next to each other and it'll count for 2 each. Or alternatively, if you want to make it harder for yourselves and end your life, someone else can stand in the fire aura and someone else can stand in the lightning, as long as everyone is separated. And that's really just it. It's just a math equation thing. So another example, if it says 2 fire and 3 lightning, it's the same thing where the 2 auras stand next to each other, but 1 extra player needs to stand on the lightning side only, and that's really it. If that makes sense, I'll put up this little chart for a few seconds here, available from Essential Mana, which this chart specifically helps for this part of thing, but unfortunately their guide does not cover the revamped version of Broken Prison, so I wouldn't really take everything from there. And it should help you out with positioning if you are not sure. And just a warning that if you fail to do this, the safe zone will shrink and you'll be at greater risk for wiping with the lava outside. Okay, from there, after 40%, he will summon a statue. Now, you will no longer have to do the aura mechanic that we just talked about after 40%, but instead we'll have to do a different aura mechanic. For example, if the text pops up as, for example, in this video, it says, use the 3rd fire aura to deactivate the statue. All you have to do is one person will receive the aura randomly. That person counts as 1. He will pass it on to a second player. That person will be the second. And then the 3rd player that receives the aura will go to the statue itself and it will deactivate it. Now, if you fail to do this, or you take too long, or you don't touch the statue, basically the arena will shrink as well. Now, after 20%, however, he will do a combination of both lightning and fire. So it's the same thing, except it'll be 2 different colors. So for example, if he says use the 3rd fire aura and the 2nd lightning aura to deactivate the statue, all you have to do is the same thing. The lightning person, however, will have to give it to somebody that does not have an aura whatsoever, and that second person will go to the statue. Like I said, it's pretty simple, it's just math, sort of. And that's it. Okay, so the second boss is Moloch. Moloch only has 1 major mechanic and a shift in mechanic after 40%. The thing that you need to know about this mechanic is that his joy meter needs to be above 1% and below 99% always. If not, it will probably wipe up your entire party unless he does a mercy mechanic. So, I'll explain the easiest way to do this afterwards, but for the most part, if you get hit, he'll be happy, which means the bar will go up. Now, every player in your party counts as 10 points. So the best way to do this is to split up with 2 people outside and 3 people inside, or vice versa, whatever you really want to do. It doesn't really matter, regardless of getting hit or not. That's the way I would do it. Some people do it as 2 people get hit, 3 people don't get hit, always. Doesn't really work out, but it depends on how you want to do it. Now, all you have to know is that if you get hit, he will be happy. If you do not get hit, he will be mad, and the bar will go lower. So let's say 3 people are outside and 2 people are inside, so his AoE is for getting hit. That AoE means happy. So that means he'll lose 10 points because 3 people avoided it, having him lose 30 points, and 3 people took it, which gave him 20 points, which comes all together to 10 points. Now, under 40%, he will trick you, and he will say he will be joyful or delighted if you avoid the hit. That means that his happiness is no longer reliant on being hit, but avoiding. So you want to keep an eye on that. It only happens under 40%. Now, the design to actually get hit or not get hit will be a circle, which means an AoE underneath him, a donut, which means underneath him is safe, or a pizza hit, which, I mean, you guys probably know what a pizza looks like. However, if you want to do the super easy way to clear this boss, you can have one of your teammates be dead the entire fight. I know it sounds kind of productive, but hear me out. You have one person die the entire time, you have 2 people stay out the entire time, and 2 people stay in the entire time. When he does his pizza mechanic, 2 of those people, whatever you decide, will go get hit, and 2 will not get hit. So for example, the way I did it is this. The Valkyrie and I stayed out the entire time during the mechanic, and Neko and the tank stayed in the entire time, regardless of what he says. When the pizza mechanic would come, Neko and the Brawler would get hit, whereas the Valkyrie and I would avoid it. This will keep Molik's joy at 50 points throughout the entire fight and never go up or down. I know it's a cheese way to clear it, but it works, and that's just how it was designed. I mean, what can I tell you? Now, there are 2 versions of when he says, I'll show you the depths of Lakin's power. If his aura around him is orange, he's going to do a fire laser of sorts, similar if not really the same speed as the last boss of Democron Factory when he does burn. Now, you just basically have to iframe the laser when it comes towards you and you'll be fine. That's really just it. If his aura is blue, he will summon blue circles around him. Just stand in the blue circle, only 1 person per circle, and you'll be safe. And that's literally it for Molik. Now, the last boss is probably the easiest in the dungeon, although there are 2 mechanics that are, quite frankly, I wouldn't necessarily call mechanics, rather than special attacks maybe. They're pretty easy to figure out on the fly, so I won't really explain them, but the mechanics themselves are pretty simple. So Balbados, the first thing you need to know is that when his health goes under 95% HP, every minute or so, he will spawn his portal mechanic. So there is an easy way to do this based on the positioning of how the big portals are surrounding the dungeon and how long it basically takes to get around. Now, I would recommend tanking him near the gate entrance and fighting them in there the whole time. I will explain why in a minute. When the boss says, I've been too easy on you, the healer usually, but anybody really, can look out to the big portals that just passed or is about to pass the gate and call out that color. That color will be the safe portal. Now, players will have this purple ball on top of them, similar to Thaumetal Refinery's second boss when they spawns the rocks, or Shadow Sanguinary's first boss when he spawns the little pylons. Those purple balls signify that you will spawn a portal. It won't say what color, but you will spawn a portal. Try not to stack them together because you will probably fuck up the whole thing. So for example, in this video, the first time he does it, I call out blue because the blue just passed or is about to pass, and he says his line. Everyone will receive an AoE underneath them, and those AoEs you need to put on portals that were not called out. So for example, if I called out blue, like I said, you destroy every portal but the blue one. After that, he will say time to end this, and you just want to go behind the blue portal. Again, blue is just an example, it can really be anything. Go behind it and it'll be safe, similar to the second boss of Velik's Hold, when he does his AoE and you hide behind a rock. So that's the basis of that basically. Now under 70%, he will say otherworldly portals begin to rotate. That just basically means that an additional color is being added, which is purple, and the same applies. You just call out the one that touches or is about to touch the gate, except it'll seem slightly faster because there's an additional color. Now under 40%, he will do a different mechanic with this. I know, there's quite a bit. This time you want to call out 2 portals, and I'll explain why. So you want to call out the one that just passed the gate and the one that is about to. Always, that's how it's about to go. At this point, however, once he says, I've been too easy on you, the big portals will turn white, and you will not be able to really kind of calculate which one it was. You have to know what you're calling out beforehand. And when you destroy the tiny portals, they're not necessarily going to disappear, but they're going to remain grayed out through the entire mechanic, I guess, and they're just not going to be active. At this point, after he does time to end this, players will receive a silence AoE underneath them. What you want to do right before it completes is go through the portal, like right before it completes, go through the portal. If you want to imagine it, it's like you're going through a portal and it's going to blow up in another dimension and you come out through another portal. Now the way these portals work is if you go through, let's say orange, whatever the big orange portal is where you'll come out of. Now this can fuck you up completely entirely if you've actually messed up the call out, but otherwise you should be fine, maybe? Now, yes, I'm aware that a dungeon at this very moment on this date does not kill you with this AoE right now, but it's better to know how to do it rather than fuck it up when it is fixed or if it's fixed. Basically, it'll blow up and you'll die. That's what happens. So at least I'm telling you how to prepare just in case it does get fixed. So yeah, it fills up, you go in, and you're safe, basically. And that's literally it. That's how you do Broken Prison. If there are any more questions about this dungeon, make sure to ask me in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable fucking bell to know when I upload a brand new video. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.